Bienvenidos, worldwide fans of the planet's hottest entertainment with an edge. Jaime En Fuego here, welcoming you to my namesake program, Enfuegotainment. Damn, Rizal, you can just call me Fuego for short, and I'm so stoked that you're here for another Rapido Fuego review. And this is actually for a film that came out last year in 2019. There's tons of time right now to catch up on stuff that I missed, and that is none other than Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell, y'all. Turtle power. And, crossover of two of my favorite franchises doesn't always work out very well. I'm looking at you, Batman Spawn, although the McFarlane and Frank Miller one was a little bit better. But, I mean, some of the Spider-Man crossover, I mean, it doesn't always work. It can't all be like Batman Predator, you know, or, oh boy, what's another good one? Well, Aliens versus Predator, obviously. But yeah, so the versus, you know, the cross-promotional stuff, it's not always a success. Sometimes it just feels like a novelty, and it doesn't have a very intriguing story to tell. And I must admit, when I read the Turtles Batman comics, which is what this film is actually based off of, I believe they did two different miniseries, if I recall correctly, and they were pretty good, and this definitely borrows ideas from those, but I feel like it expands and elevates a little bit, and in some ways I kind of like the writing a little bit better, even if there is a lot of stuff that's like shot for shot, you know, from those comics. And I mean, yeah, this is a pretty fun, and it was much more enjoyable than I was expecting, that's for damn sure. So just like brief little rundown of everything that transpires here. So the Turtles are in Gotham City, and they're there because they have trailed Shredder there, and Shredder is in the midst of trying to like do this little crossover thing with Ra's al Ghul. So you basically have the League of Assassins and the Foot Clan teaming up here, and it's like a, you know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours sort of situation. And so yeah, they're trying to, like, there's so much that goes on in this story, and it's fun because a lot of it really does in turn become what you would want to see as a fan's dream in this. So cool villain team up in that regard, but you do get like the entire Rogues Gallery coming through later on. As far as Turtles villains, you really just get Baxter Stockman. He's the one who is assisting in basically taking the ooze and then using the ooze to like transform all of that Rogues Gallery of Batman villains into, you know, these crazy mutant, like Bebop Rocksteady hybrid versions of themselves, which is a really, really dope idea, right? And in the midst of the investigation, obviously, you would probably assume that Batman and the Turtles, since they don't know each other, they're going to be a little hesitant, and so they do clash a little bit at first, and there's like pretty dope battle early on this rooftop and stuff, but, you know, they kind of get a feel for each other, and they're like, okay, you know, he didn't try to kill us, is what the Turtles gauge, and so they're like, so he's probably not that bad of a dude, and they end up infiltrating his lair, and I mean, Raph is your typical Raph, Donnie is your typical, you know, versatile, it's cool because he actually, it's like a family and family sort of thing, and you know the Turtles, they're all about, you know, their brothers and everything, and so they're obvious family in that regard, but yet it's family in the Batman department as well, you know, the extended Bat family. So you've got Damian Wayne as Robin in this, you've got Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, and then you've also got Alfred. So you've got Batman and his like family of sorts, and then you've got the Turtles family, and it's really just about the two families eventually teaming up. And so yeah, Barbara Gordon and Donnie becoming homies, and with the mutual respect thing, that kind of makes sense. And then in turn you've also got Damian Wayne as a little feisty hothead that he is. Initially he's like poking fun at Mikey, and yes, Mikey is goofy as always, as you know, as you would imagine, but he does have some fun interactions with Batman in like the least serious of the Turtles teaming up with like the most serious and stoic, you know, of the Bat Clan, obviously, and they have some fun stuff together later on once the two, you know, team up to actually go after these mutated villains and stuff. And but when Mikey shifts gears and teams up with Bats, that's when Raph, the most, you know, hot-headed of the Turtles, teams up with Damian Wayne, and they get this like mutual respect kind of thing going on, which is pretty dope. And so, I mean, whereas this could have really just been supremely forgettable and stupid. I mean, it's all of the stuff that goes down really makes sense, man. And I mean, the fact that Shredder wants to use the Lazarus Pit so he can become immortal, and then just seeing the dream of the ooze, you know, transforming everyone from, you know, Mr. Freeze to, you know, Harley Quinn and Joker to, I mean, it's really, really dope, man. And you also get some Penguin flavor in there early on, and I mean, it's very cool. And the one thing that I won't specify as to who it happens to, because I'm trying not to make this like a full spoiler sort of thing, but imagine ooze and Joker venom. Yeah, we're talking the stuff that Bane was taking, man. I mean, it's pretty badass what they do with it. And so, I mean, really, as far as just how this could have really sucked and been incredibly forgettable, I mean, it really, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Yes, granted, it's still more so for like not even teens. This is like for grade school kids and maybe even a little younger. But you know, the best animated stuff does have it's got enough of that just making you feel like a kid to it, that even if it is meant for kids, it's got that crossover appeal that even if you're a grown-up like myself, you can still just have that vicarious, just walk down memory lane. And even though the comic is only a couple years old, this definitely made me feel like a kid, because seeing the Kevin Eastman and you know, oh man, what a cool combination this really was. And they leave it wide open for a sequel, which I'm really hoping they are hard at work at, because the DC Universe movies, the animated ones, I gotta admit, they are far superior to the stuff that I've seen them do in the Marvel Universe. Sorry, Marvel. Marvel may arguably have a better formula for their live action stuff. DC may be more hit and miss with their live action, at least as of late. But I mean, the DC animated stuff, it kills. Unfortunately, this is not on the DC Universe app, so I had to borrow the Blu-ray from my cohort in crime, Cecil Laird, over at the Horror Show. But I'm glad that he had purchased it, because this was a ton of fun. I really hope they're working on that sequel. And yeah, man, I highly recommend this one. As I felt like, you know, just a kid again, man. It was pretty damn cool. So I extend a grande gracias to anyone who is tuning into this here on a Monday, because of the fact that here on Enfuegotainment, every other Monday, I do animated Mondays. The other Monday is Music Monday, so one Monday you'll get an animated review, another Monday you'll get a music review, and vice versa. So we kind of bounce back and forth. But yes, once again, danke, arigato, merci, molto grazie. Thanks very much for everybody tuning in. I've been Jaime En Fuego, as I mentioned at the onset of this video, and you can find me on all social media sectors like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, obviously here on YouTube. I've got lots of other superhero reviews on here, mostly Marvel stuff, but you know, also a few other things here and there. Tons of Star Wars coverage, if that's your sort of thing. Everything from some of the novels to some of the comics to you know, all kinds of different reviews of the films and whatnot, and various other cool things too. The aforementioned Cecil Laird, the showrunner at my other jam, that's right, youtube.com/The Horror Show channel. That is where you can find at least one episode every day there as well, whether it's a film review or a comic review, or, I mean, trailer reaction, unboxing, video game let's plays. If that's your thing, we do that as well. So yeah, lots of spectacular coverage of the coolest variety. And then lastly, couple Mondays a month. It was initially every single Monday, but I guest on a program called Show Business on the Willis Screedia YouTube channel. CP is the main dude over there, and myself, Chauncey K. Robinson, and Lindsay Mimsy, as I so affectionately call him from my 2 cents of nonsense. All of us get together and we have palaver about news stories about the entertainment industry. It used to be a box office show primarily, but we've had to really kind of shift gears in the midst of this stay at home and just binge watch as much as possible, unless your services are of the utmost importance to be on the front lines of how crazy this world is right now. But this review will stand the test of time regardless, and hopefully we get back to, you know, bueno days in the very near future. So I've been Fuego, y'all have been Rad Status, and until the Wheel of Ka comes around once more, I say hasta luego, Cinemigos and constant readers and viewers alike. But I'm hopeful that we get to share more of this palaver sooner rather than later. Peace out, stay safe. Cowabunga.